So the Magi, the wise men, brought precious gifts to Jesus, and that's one of the reasons why we give gifts to each other at Christmas. Thank God for the Magi. Now, I wonder if you can guess what are the top 5 best-selling Christmas gifts of all time in the UK. Now, of course, I don't know when they started keeping records, but the top 5 Christmas gifts in the UK of all time. Okay, so we're going to have them on the screen in a moment, but I'm going to see if I can get any suggestions of what might be in the top 5. Chocolate. Christmas card. Christmas card. Liam. Sweeties. Cake. Lego. I heard somebody say Lego. Perfume. A dog. Darts. Socks. I'm still struggling with the darts one. Darts, okay. Any over here? Books. What? Pajamas. Alcohol. Scarf.
Teddy bear.
Yes. Teddy bear says, yeah, teddy bear. Pardon? Phone. What, an iPhone or any kind of phone? Liam. Sam. What? A jumper. West Ham kit. All right. Good suggestions. We didn't get many of them. In fact, I think only one of those suggestions is in the top 5. In fact, iPhone is number 6. iPhone is number 6. Right, let's have the top 5. Here we go. From 1, number 1, Rubik's Cube. Number 2, Monopoly. Number 3, Lego. Number 4, how didn't you get Barbie? Come on. And number 5, Scalextric. Scalextric, remember that, eh? Fabulous, thank you. Well, I hope you got something lovely for Christmas, even if it wasn't in the top 5. And of course, when we're buying a gift for someone, whether it's Christmas or birthday, we're usually very careful to make sure that the gift we buy is just right for the person that we're giving it to. We don't just give a random gift, do we? We take our time, we think hard about the kind of gift that will be just right for the person that we're giving it to. Something they would really like or really need. And of course, those two things aren't always the same, are they? But something they'd really like or something they'd really need. Well, I reckon God made sure that the Magi brought gifts for Jesus that would be just right for him. And kids, around the church, in time-honored fashion, there are 3 pictures. I wonder if you could see a picture. If you can see a picture, take it off and bring it up to me. If you can see a picture, take it off and bring it up to me. Brilliant, thank you. Do you want to sit down here? Thank you, Hannah. Yeah, do you want to sit down there? One more? Yeah, brilliant. Do you want to sit down next to Sam there, Robert? Brilliant, thank you. Okay, so now these 3 pictures, and we're going to see them on the screen as well, they're not pictures of the actual gifts that were given to Jesus, but they tell us something about Jesus and why the gifts were just right for him. Okay, so let's have the first gift on the screen. Do you want to stand up as well, Hannah? Hold up your bit of paper. Brilliant. So we have a crown which represents the gold. The gold. Gold was a gift fit for a king because only wealthy people like kings could afford gold, either to receive it or to buy it. The Bible tells us that Jesus is a king. And not just a king, but the king of kings. In the Hebrew language, there is no way of saying the best king. So you say the King of Kings. If you like trifle for Christmas and you think the one your mum made was the best trifle ever, you wouldn't say in Hebrew the best trifle. You'd say it's the trifle of trifles. It's the best one. Okay. So Jesus is the King of Kings, which means he's the best king, the greatest king, the kingiest king there has ever been. Hundreds of years before Jesus was born, the prophet Isaiah looked down the tunnel of future history and saw that one day a child would be born, a son would be given, and the government would be on his shoulders. In other words, he would be a king whose kingdom would never come to an end and whose kingdom would extend to the ends of the earth. That king is Jesus. And that's why the Magi gave him a gift of gold, fit for a king. Okay, guys, you want to sit down? Brilliant, thank you. Second gift, you want to stand up, Sam? Incense or frankincense. Now, incense would have been used to offer to God in worship in the temple in Jerusalem. Every day in the temple, a priest would put some incense on the burning coals of the golden altar. You can see a representation of that on the screen. And the sweet-smelling fragrance would rise up in a cloud of smoke to God. The fragrance represented the worship, the prayer, the love, and the adoration of God's people. And it was as if God smelled the sweet fragrance, breathed it in deeply, and said, I love the worship, the prayer, the adoration, and the love of my people. I wonder what is your favorite smell? Whether it's a kind of perfume, or the scent of your favorite flower, or maybe roast lamb cooking in the kitchen. Sorry, Sarah. I wonder what is your favorite smell? Well, one of God's favorite smells is the fragrance that rises up, representing the love and the praise and the adoration and the worship of his people. Isaiah, who said that a child would be born, a son would be given, also said that that child would be not just a human being, but God himself. Mighty God, the everlasting Father. So Jesus is our King and he's our God. And that's why the Magi gave him frankincense, a gift fit for God himself. Okay, thanks, Sam. Robert, do you want to stand up? Let's have the third gift. Myrrh. Myrrh. I wonder if you've ever received a gift at Christmas, maybe even this last Christmas, that you opened and thought, well, that's a bit weird. Ever received one of those gifts? You open it, you think, I don't even know what that is, but... Or why have they bought this for me? My dear grandma used to give me gifts like that. You don't really think, what? That's a bit weird.
So we gave him a giant fluffy hand warmer, and he was like, what on earth?
So Mark got a giant fluffy hand warmer, and he thought, well, that's weird. What on earth is this? What is this? Well, maybe that's what Mary and Joseph thought when they opened the final gift of myrrh from the wise men. Well, that's a bit weird, because myrrh was used to anoint and embalm dead bodies for burial. I mean, why would you give a gift like that to a little child? And not just a little child, but one who is both king and God. Well, even though they couldn't have known it at the time, this gift was perfectly fit for Jesus. Because the way Jesus would show his amazing love for the world, for you and for me, and for all who humbly put their trust in him, would be by giving his life for us on a cross. The way he would show himself to be truly the King and God would be dying on a cross on Good Friday. This is so staggering that it takes our breath away. That the King of Kings, who is none other than God himself in human form, should allow himself to be killed like a common criminal on a cross. Not because he'd done anything wrong, but because we all have. Because every one of us has sinned and fallen short of God's glory and deserves to be cut off from God and his goodness forever. And yet, out of his intense and fiery love for us, Jesus, the King, Jesus, God himself, took the rap for our mess so we can be forgiven and become the people that God created us to be. The same prophet Isaiah, who hundreds of years before the Magi visited Jesus, saw that he would be king and God, also said that one day he would be pierced for our transgressions and crushed for our iniquities, that the punishment that brings us peace would fall on him, and that by his wounds we would be healed. So on this Epiphany Sunday, may you know in a fresh way, or even for the first time, that Jesus is your King, that Jesus is your God, and that Jesus gave his own life on a cross for you so that you can know him and love him in 2025 and beyond. Amen. Amen. Round of applause from our wonderful